What's up? What's up? What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Come on in. Thank you for already hitting the like button. Please make sure you get all your vitamin needs at Black Girl Vitamins. And even if you are not a black girl, you know one, go on and order her something. They have a little bit of everything to satisfy whatever vitamin needs you have. Using my discount code ReallyBTV, please and thank you. All right, so let's get into these things, y'all. Let's get into the content. Y'all, I have 500 things to do today, and I don't have enough time to do it. I'm probably y'all gonna get sick of me today. I probably got 20 videos to make today, and I still ain't done packing. But let's get into this Armon Wiggins response to Funky Dineva. Now let me start. Hey everybody coming in. What up, ODS? Hey boo. What up, everybody coming in? Hey. You love those vitamins. You need to reorder. Go on and reorder. Listen, first of all, I need to tell y'all that I told y'all so. Some of the stuff that Armon Wiggins said, what up, boo? Hey, Mims. 500, and you didn't put me on your... Listen, Mims, you won't be on the calendar probably within the next... You know I'm going to talk to you. But first of all, let me say I told you so. Because some of what Armon Wiggins said, we had talked about. I had told y'all that these are the things that will happen and down to the TGIF. I know there's a lot of information going on, but baby, I told y'all some of the things. And I'm going to tell you what it was when I go through it. Number two, baby, I think I owe Armon a little bit of an apology because... Now, two things can be true at the same time. I still think there's a better way to handle things than the way that Armon always handled things. However, after listening to Armon's side of the story, yeah, I really do. I understand why he flipped the way he did. Now, I still feel like I probably would have handled things a little differently, but I am older than him, and there is a level of maturity there, right? So let's get into it. You guys know we ain't going to go back through the whole TGIF thing. We are just not. We know what happened, child. It fell apart. Okay. Funky Dineva left. It fell apart. A lot of people were being messy. Well, Funky Dineva did a interview earlier this week with Carlos King. Now, we did talk about that. And I didn't really dig too deep into all of the ins and the outs. We did talk about the fact that Funky Dineva said he was disappointed in Armon, that he felt like Armon was immature, but he gave him props. He told him he was very talented. And that, you know, he absolutely... is going to go places, right? This is just a little blip on the radar. I'm gonna be honest. Knowing Armon the way I know Armon, I knew he was going to respond. I didn't know how, what, when, where, how. Because the one thing about Armon, he lets his pot simmer. Like, he does not rush to respond. He will definitely let the pot cook. So I knew he would respond. I just didn't know. Hey, Chloe. Hey, boo. I didn't know how he would do it, when he would do it, but I knew he would. Yesterday, he responded. And I'm going to just go through my notes. Please, y'all go over there. Give Armon, go hear what he has to say straight out of his word, his own mouth. It's about a 2.5 hour video. You can really sort of, if you already watched the interview with Funky Dineva, you honestly can redball it to the point where he starts addressing. You could probably redball about an hour to an hour and 20 minutes in when he starts to sort of respond and give his feedback. If you already watched the interview, child, that's all he does for the first hour or so. And I can't really play any of it. One, because I don't want to get my page. I don't know how Armon play about that. And two, he cussed so much, child. I just can't play none of it. He cussed so much, okay? Mims, hey boo, hey, what's up, peace? They're all wrong from talent to production. I appreciated Armon's candor. Felt he was being true to himself and his brand, but they were all at fault to some degree. I agree 100%, and that's what I'm saying. Two things can be true at the same time. I still would not have handled it the way he handled it, but I understood the frustration and the buildup. But I also think that all of them behaved badly, and hey, Queen Diva, boo. I feel like all of them behave badly. All of them behave badly. And I think that in any regular job setting, none of that shit would have flew, right? All of them would have been in HR. My HR expert is in the house. Tracy, what you got to say? All of them would have been sitting in HR. Thank you, Peace, for the super chat, my love. Thank you, boo. Yes, thank you for your support. right? So let me just go through my notes, because again, I am not going to rehash everything that was said, but we know that in Carlos King's interview, Funky Dineva said that he felt like Armon was immature, and that he was disappointed in him and disappointed in how he handled it. But again, like I said, he gave him props. He said that the roast, he thought that the roast was disgusting. He said the roast was disgusting. He said it made him sick. And that he felt like somebody had put a battery in Armon Wiggins' back. That is the verbiage that a lot of people were using, myself included. So I'm going to be honest about what I had to say as well. When all that stuff first happened, I said the same thing. I said, Armon Wiggins ain't even been there but a couple of months. So some of that stuff, he wouldn't even know if somebody didn't tell him. That's the same thing Funky Dineva said, right? I said the same thing Funky Dineva said, because I said, hell, he ain't been here but 3 months. But in that roast, hey, Queen Diva, hey, boo, thank you. But in that roast, he said a lot of stuff that I was like, how does he even know this? Okay. In Funky Dineva's interview, he said that he gave Armon the lay of the land. He said, when I found out Armon was getting a job, I sat down with him. I went through everything. I gave him the official. This is what you do. This is what you don't do. I gave him the unofficial. I told him who to talk to, who not to talk to, who this and who that, the ups and the downs. He said, I gave him the blueprint of how to make this a successful working environment. And he really did the opposite, or didn't do what I told him to do, or what I advised him to do. Armand's thing was, if you really truly were out to help me, if you really truly were trying to be there to support me, why you didn't call me? Why is this the first time I'm hearing any of this? Right? You didn't call me and reach out to me when everything blew up. You didn't call and reach out to me and talk to me. You didn't even tell me behind the scenes, I'm disappointed in you. You should have handled that better. You could have done things differently, right? I feel two ways about that, but I understand Armand's point of view on it, but I also don't necessarily feel like they weren't friends. They weren't friends, but I understand both sides of view on that one as well. Between the Carlos Funky Dineva interview and Armand's response, these people got 4.5 hours of my time, and I ain't mad. Listen, they got mine too, Mims. You know they got mine too, boo. Yeah, I don't know if I feel like Funky owed you a phone call. Y'all weren't friends. And I feel like Funky gave you what he had. He gave you what he had, and this was his interview. The interview, let's be fair. Can we be fair? Like Carlos King says, can we have a real conversation here? That interview was over an hour long. Fox Soul was the last 30 minutes of that interview, 20 minutes of that interview. The rest of that interview was not about Fox Soul. It was not about Armon Wiggins. It was not about Claudia Jordan and Al Reynolds. Yes, that was the juiciest part. That was the part that most of us bloggers picked up on, because first of all, most of that stuff we'd heard already about Funky Dineva's growing up and all of that. And two, that's what we wanted to hear. Let's just call a thing, child. We wanted to know what Funky had to say. That's what we wanted to know. So that's the part that most of us picked up on. However, that interview wasn't about you, Armon. He was asked the question. Of course you disagree with me, Phil. You always disagree with me. Anyway, he was asked the question and he answered it. You don't have to like his response. You don't. You do not have to like his response. And like I said, I see both sides of that coin. I also, and I didn't say this the other day when I did my review of Funky Dineva's interview. I didn't say this the other day. I thought about it after the fact. Funky Dineva really contradicted himself in that interview if you were paying attention. Because 1 minute he said, I left the show because it was so toxic. It was so much BS. It was so much going on. But then the flip side, he said, hey, I don't know where all of this animosity came from between Claudia and Al. I mean, things were cool. You know, yeah, they had like a little blip, a little kerfuffle, but I thought we had worked past it. But I guess not, because things seemed to blow up after I left. I don't believe that. Because then you turned around later on and talked about how horrible it was, how bad of an experience it was, how much drama it was, how much bullshit was going on and backstabbing. And I don't like the drama. And I was in the middle of the drama. So you kind of said two things at the same time. And I'm going to just lean on the side that it was a lot of drama and a lot of bullshit. That doesn't make him a friend, though, Phil. Me giving you the lay of the land or something doesn't make you a friend. If I'm leaving a job and there's somebody taking my position that I know we're not friends, we don't hang out, but we've moved in the same spaces, we do the same thing, and I know they're coming in to take a job that I'm voluntarily leaving, I can have a conversation with them and break it down for them and give them the ups and the downs. That doesn't mean I'm obligated to hold their hand throughout the whole process. I don't feel that way. I feel like I gave you what I had. I didn't owe you that. Funky didn't owe Armon anything. Calling Funky out of his name was unnecessary. Listen, like I said, two things can be true at the same time. I'm not saying I agree with every decision Armon made. I'm saying I understand Armon's frustration after listening to his side of the story. I'm still not saying I agree. I'm not agreeing with everybody's decision. I going back to what Mem said, I think all of them were messy and all of them acted ridiculous. Ridiculous. Like, seriously, Armon was the youngest person out of the three of them, but they all were acting the same. You see what I'm saying? In my opinion. Right. Funky wasn't his friend. Funky didn't have to reach out to him. Funky didn't have to talk to him. He didn't have to do anything. But once he did it, he wasn't obligated to do anything more. Now, if they were friends, if Funky had said, you know, Armon was like a little brother to me, or I was trying to mentor him, and this was the first that Armon was hearing it, then yes, I would 100% agree. But that wasn't the relationship by both of them. Both sides of the coin said they weren't friends like that. Both of them said that. Now, if Armon had said, I felt like that Funky was trying to be a mentor to me, Funky said he was going to be there for me, Funky said he was going to have my back, and he didn't, that would be a different conversation. But that is not what either one of them said. But Phil, you keep saying friend. They weren't friends. That's what I'm saying. They were not friends. But neither here, I'm not going to get hung up on that because I told you I got 500 things to do. I want to get through my notes, child. You know me and Phil will argue all day. Child, I ain't about to go back and forth with Art. But y'all know I love Phil. You knew him, Phil. I love Phil. Phil love me, but I ain't about to sit here and argue with him all day. Anyway. Okay. Now, and my notes might be out of order. I just want to go through all my notes because I want to make sure I say everything. Armon said that he was not the reason why Fox, this is one of the things I told y'all. This is one of the things that I told y'all weeks ago. They were already under an HR investigation before the roast. They were already, let me say that one more time for the people that didn't hear me the first time or didn't hear, the people in the back. They were already under an HR investigation prior to the roast. The roast was not the reason why this show was canceled. It might have been the final straw, but it was not. Okay, I've been in multiple chats and everybody is split. Yeah, and that's the thing. You know, it's gonna be because everybody has their point of view. Thank you for the super chat booth. So the producer, and I'm gonna call the name because Armon called the name, child. Well, maybe I shouldn't because I don't know if Armon. Anyway, one of the producers was really cool with Al, and basically, from Armon's point of view, let Al get away with everything. Let Al take a poll. Maybe I should take a poll. Let me give me a second. I might do a poll. Maybe Al that let Al get away with everything. That particular producer was under an HR investigation. I told y'all that there was somebody under investigation prior to the roast. I never told y'all who it was, but I said that there was somebody at Fox Soul that was already an investigation going on, right? He said first, and he said, I was not making $250,000. I was making $70,000, which honestly, and I understood why he took the job. He said he took the job because he thought it would give him access. He thought that even though he the money wasn't there. He thought it would elevate him and it would put him in the room and it would put him in certain spaces. See, I don't want to go too far left. But he said that was part of his reason for taking the job, even though he wasn't making the money. Yeah, Arman's feelings are definitely hurt. I mean, if you watched it last night, he literally broke down. He was crying. You know how you get that angry cry? He got that angry cry, right? So let me say this, Kim. I understand what you're saying, but let me put this in YouTube. And this is what I was saying about the Funky Dineva piece of this with the money. Yes, $70,000 for 1 hour a day is great money. Yes, it is. However, when you're already doing YouTube and you already have a platform and you already have your own space on YouTube, it's really not. Because Armon, I'm not saying he makes $70,000 a month, but if he was making $70,000 for his contract, which was a 6-month contract, if Armon makes $40,000 a month on his YouTube channel, he triples that in 6 months just doing his own content on YouTube. And he don't have to worry about nobody else. He doesn't have to worry about dealing with HR and producers. And he don't have to worry about none of that. Everything comes out of his pocket. Again, there are different ways of looking at that, and everybody can have their own perspective. But I understand saying, listen, I'll go ahead and take the money, even though it's not what I want to make, what I thought I was going to make, what I should be making. But for 6 months, I'll eat it, because hopefully at the end of 6 months, this show will put me in places that I couldn't do on my own. I understand that. We've all done that in our career. We've all made those career choices, right? Thank you, Mans, for the super chat, boo. I felt the cry was angry and hurt. Absolutely. That was definitely an angry cry. But I agree. I think it was angry and hurt. But that was definitely, when you get so mad, the tears it was definitely, you could tell. I mean, he had a moment. So it was real. It was definitely real. Sorry, I'm trying to do this poll, y'all. HR failed everybody. I agree. Like I said, in anybody else's job situation, all of them would have been fired. They all would have been taking a walk down to HR and they would have all come out of HR with a box in their hand. Okay, go clean out your desk. Okay. Thank you, Phil. Yes, y'all know, listen, if you new here, you don't know that Phil's my boo thing. We argue, but yeah, that's my boo. Thank you for the super chat, my love. Yes, I love ReallyBTV. Funky's words hold weight. Armon feels he is being blamed, and Al gets a pass. We need a reunion on YouTube. Tasha K as a special guest. Armon respects Funky, and he expects more from him as a person. I don't know what kind of reunion you think you're going to get with that. I don't think there would be... I don't know if it's what option you want for C? Both? I should change it to both? Okay, maybe I'll add an option for both, y'all. I'm trying to make y'all choose one, and y'all don't want to choose one. Okay. All right, let me get back to my notes. HR investigation, Al's producer, 70,000. So let's talk a little bit about what Armon said he walked into. Armon said he got the job and there was absolutely, hey, Cajun Boo, there was absolutely no onboarding. Now, everybody in here, right, the reunion be on Zeus. Everybody in here has started a new job. And you know that there's an onboarding process in any new job, or there should be, right? For some of us, it's just sitting in somebody's office, filling out our daggone tax paperwork and watching, videos and somebody walking us around the office and showing us what a coffee pot is and what the bathroom is, right? But there is an onboarding process. Armon said there absolutely was nothing for him. He said he ain't getting no welcome email. He didn't get an introduction. He didn't meet the producers. He said there was absolutely nothing. He said there was no onboarding for him at all. However, what there was somebody sent him a leaked email from Claudia saying, I don't want him here and I don't feel safe. Now, let's connect some dots with that one. Let's connect some dots with that one. The first dot we're going to connect is, I told y'all that too. Didn't I tell y'all that Claudia didn't want Armon? Didn't I tell y'all that Claudia wanted Dustin? Did I not tell y'all that Claudia never wanted Armon to have that job? Armon confirmed what I told y'all 2 months ago. Number 2, let's unpack this language, I don't feel safe around him. First of all, y'all was doing this show through Zoom. You weren't even around him, Claudia. And he posted the receipts. So this was something real that Claudia said, and she emailed to production. She said, let him keep talking. We're just going to let him hang himself. Meaning eventually he going to say something that's going to, get him in trouble, because we know our mouth going to get him in trouble. And then that'll be her justification to get rid of him. Imagine starting a job that was already in controversy, because let's be clear, Armon knew what he was walking into. Armon knew he was walking into the Funky Dineva shadow, the ghost of Funky Dineva. It was all over YouTube. Everybody knew. Then you get to the job on the first day and people don't even say hi to you. People don't even sit you down and introduce you to your production team. People don't even give you the time to walk you around. Mind you, it's an invisible studio because you was doing it from Zoom from your house. But there was no Zoom meeting to say, hey, let you meet the team. Let's talk about it. Let's see what it is. Like, none of that was going on. Right? No intro email, no manual, no nothing. No nothing. But the first thing you do get is a leaked email to you telling you that your person, not your person, but your co-host don't even want you there. And we're going to break this all the way down. For my members of the LGBTQIA community, specifically my men, we already know that dog whistle, do we not? I don't feel safe around him. That's a dog whistle. That's a dog whistle. Tell me I'm wrong. Put it in the chat and tell me I'm wrong. I don't feel safe around him? What you didn't feel safe about? That's a dog whistle. Thank you for the super chat piece. I love Funky, but it was irresponsible to give his opinion on a large public platform without hearing all sides. I got him out here looking bad. I agree. I'm going to get to that piece. I agree 100%. He had one side of the story and assumed it was the correct side because he didn't like Claudia. Now, that comment took me right back, and I know for the people, that took me right back to Tasha K. Remember when Tasha K dropped them receipts? About the Claudia, the things that Claudia said, the language she used about the LGBTQ community, and the things she said. Now, we ain't got to like Tasha K, but we can't pretend like Tasha K didn't tell us that Claudia talked like that about her co-host behind their back, about members of the LGBTQ community. Let's just call it what it is, gay men. We're not going to sit and act like she ain't make these comments about gay men and call them out their name and use certain language. Y'all remember them receipts? We talked about it. We talked about it over here. Tasha K went live one night and y'all know how she do. And she was telling it and she posted them receipts. Now, I do think Tasha put 20 on 10. I told y'all that. I thought Tasha was putting 20 on 10, but it brings it right back around. Does it not? Does it not bring it right back around? I don't feel safe. What you don't feel safe about? Okay. Armon said he quickly realized that the reason why he took this job, it was not there. Right? He said there was no access. They weren't getting invited to red carpets. They weren't getting in the rooms. They weren't getting press passes. He said there was no budget. He said Al Reynolds, when you saw Al Reynolds out doing things, he did that out of his own pocket. There was no budget for a camera crew. There was no, he said Al was paying for those passes and getting all that stuff on his own. He said, and he quickly realized that the reason why he took the job wasn't going to yield him what he thought it was. Now, here's the thing. He said, listen, but it's 6 months, I'm going to ride it out. He said, I'll just ride out the 6 months. I'll just do the 6 months and then I'll move on to something else. See, Phil, what you just said is two different things. You said, I disagree. What do you disagree about? Do you disagree about what Claudia said? Because then you say, I think both sides were saying negative things about each other. Or do you disagree that saying I feel unsafe is a dog whistle? Because one doesn't negate the other. Just because you feel like Armand said negative things about Claudia doesn't mean Claudia didn't say those things about Armand. Two things can be true at the same time. Make it make sense. Said, I know that Foxhole had a budget. I trust you because I trust you. I trust what you say, ma'am, and you know why. Okay. He said, "Quit." Now, all of this is happening when he first got hired. All this is within the first couple of days of him getting this job. Al called him and said, "Don't trust Claudia. Don't trust her. She don't want you here. She don't like you. Don't have any private phone conversations with her because she's going to record you. Every conversation you have with her, do it on Zoom so you'll have a copy of what was said and you can keep the recording, but don't trust her." He said she's a Karen and she will sue you. Now, he said that's what Al called him and told him. So you have Claudia you getting leaked emails from Claudia saying she don't want you here. She feels unsafe around you. Then you got Al calling you saying, don't you trust her? Don't trust her. So he said in the beginning, I was rocking with Claudia. I was rocking with Al. He said, why wouldn't I? I have the proof that Claudia is talking about me. I have the proof that she doesn't want me here. So why wouldn't I rock with Al? He said, so I did. I absolutely did. I was rocking with Al. He said Al was linked up with his producer friend trying to get Claudia fired. And he showed the receipt of when Al reached out to him and said, me and you need to get on a call with, I ain't going to say the lady's name. Y'all can go in here. He can say the lady name. I ain't going to say the lady name. But we're going to call her Jay. We're just going to say Jay. He said, I'm trying to get you on a call with her because we got to get rid of Claudia. And Armand was fair. Armand dropped his receipts that said, he was like, yep, we do. We need to get rid of this bitch. So we're going to, one thing I say Armand was he was telling his own tea. He was dropping his receipts along with everybody else's. He was dropping his receipts along with everybody else's. Okay. He said things started to flip once he said he got his music segment and Al got jealous about that. He said you could hear Al even saying, it took me 4 years to get my own segment. He said that right on the show. He said that's when Al started calling him boy and started demeaning him on the show. And then that's when Claudia reached out to him and said, hey, me and you need to talk. And so he said, well, by this time, I was open to the conversation with Claudia because Al's not speaking to me anymore. Al stopped talking to me. Al's producer friend don't talk to me anymore. And now he coming for me every chance he gets on the show. He calling me boy. He calling me out my name. Every chance he get, he coming for me. So, okay, let me see what the hell is going on because clearly I have pissed somebody off and I don't know who I pissed off or when, the what, the where, and the how it happened. So he said, yeah, he talked to Claudia and they cleared the air. And he told Claudia what he said and Claudia told him what she said. And they were both like, yep, I said that about you. Yep, well, I said that about you. Well, this is how I felt. Well, this is how I felt. And they cleared it up. You said I'll call Armon boy before he got fired. Well, child, I'm just telling you. I'm just going through my notes. I'm just telling you what Armon said. He might have been. I'm just telling you what Armon said, baby. He said then the producer started nitpicking him, nitpicking his clothes, nitpicking what he wore, nitpicking what he said, what he didn't say. He's talking too much. He's not talking enough. He said I realized it was some shit going on. And that is where this other rumor, I'm gonna say rumor in air quotes, came in, where Armon was cool with another producer. And I told y'all this too. This part of the story, I told y'all too. Al accused Armon and his boyfriend. Now, the boyfriend part I didn't know. Because, you know, Armon, anybody who knows Armon know Armon got a man. But Al accused Armon and his boyfriend of sleeping with this other producer. I guess they was allegedly having menage a trois and things of that nature. And Al was the one that was telling that rumor. Went to the producers and said, hey, Armon is having an inappropriate relationship with this producer. I ain't gonna call that person's name either. Y'all can go hear what Armon had to say. And that's when shit really blew up. Then Al ended up going to Claudia behind Armon's back, plotting to get Armon fired. Now, allegedly, Al went to Claudia, Al went to production, Al went to Armon. The common denominator in this story is Al. If someone calls you boy on air, correct them on air, remind them what your name is, then remind him every time he does it. Am I missing something there? No, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, again, you have to teach people how to treat you. Yes, congratulations, Miss Parker, for the 15 months of being a member. We're gonna probably have a members only live later on today. I'm gonna be packing. Y'all can keep me company while I'm packing, child. If I have time, because Lord knows I'm running out of time. Okay. I apologize. That's when I'll talk to Claudia after that. After Al went to Claudia, that's when Claudia reached out to Armon. So if you go back, knowing all of that, and again, I'm giving y'all the cliff notes. Y'all can go and hear Armon's full breakdown. He gives you the receipts. He shows you the text messages and the emails. He gives you all of that. So y'all can go and get the full breakdown. Those are my cliff notes. But knowing all of that information, if you go back to that roast and you listen to the things that Armon said in that roast, you will realize that nobody had to put a battery in Armon Wiggins' back. Those were his experiences based on the information he had. When he said you were going behind people's back trying to get the show canceled, when you were going behind people's back spreading rumors and going to HR and going to production. If you go back and listen, I ain't going to replay all of it. It's out there. But if you go back and listen to that roast, I am apologizing because I said that. If y'all can go back and find it. I said I felt like somebody put a battery in Armon's back. I said he ain't been there that long. How in the world could he have all this information? How in the world could he know all of this? But when you listen to Armon's breakdown and you see his receipts, those were his experiences. Now, here's the sad part, y'all. The sad part is all of this happened in 3 months. Can you imagine the level of toxicity in a work environment for all of that to have happened in a 3-month window? That's crazy as hell. And that's why I say I still think things could have been handled better, but I definitely understand Armon blowing. I understand Armon blowing. And I understand why he's angry at Funky, because he's like, listen, you only have your friend's side of the story. You don't have my side of the story. You didn't call me. You didn't ask me about the roast. You didn't reach out to me to get my side of the story. You went off of what your friend told you. You haven't talked to Claudia because you and Claudia ain't cool no more. You ain't talked to Claudia. You don't know what happened or what didn't happen after you left. So again, do I think it could have been handled better? I still believe that. But I also understand why he blew. Okay. HFG said, I ain't got no response for this thing, for this poll. Claudia also was gatekeeping. She said fucking Armon didn't need Fox health insurance. She could receive health insurance with an application to SAG, Screen Actors Guild. Yeah. Now Armon did throw that in there, and I knew he must have got that from somewhere. But again, you know, I'm not going to rehash Funky leaving, why he left. I ain't about to rehash all of that, right? I'm about to rehash, you know, what Funky could have done differently or whatever. He made his decision, and it was what it was. I'm going to say this. First of all, shout out to the 375 people in the room. If you're new here, please hit that like button. I appreciate y'all so much. Please subscribe. Both of those things are what, y'all? Free. Hey, boo! Conscious, you've been over there cutting up. Okay, I just need you to know. You've been over there cutting up. Hey, boo. Conscious TV, Funky didn't afford him a phone call for Wiggins' side the way that Wiggins didn't afford Claudia a call and immediately took to outside. It was hypocrisy for me. Listen, Conscious, let me tell you something. All of them behaved badly, in my opinion. All of them behaved badly. There's no job in this world where that could happen and everybody ain't walking out the door with a pink slip. I'm just sorry. And I mean from the production on down. I'm talking about from the producers on down. All of them was over there acting a damn fool. And I will say this. They were all making too much money. Well, maybe not the $70,000, but they was all making too much money for that dumb shit. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. Cutting up, that's putting it mildly. Conscious goes in. Baby, Conscious, that's my boo. Even when he's talking about something I don't know nothing about, Conscious be cutting up. And I've been over there. You know I'll be in your bushes, baby. So y'all, that is my breakdown. Those are my cliff notes. If you're new here, thank you for the super chat. Hold on, let me go through my super chats and thank, as always, Mims always comes through and shows me love. Thank you, Peace, for the super chats. Thank you, Phil, for the super chat, and thank you all of the members. Thank you, Miss Parker, for your member anniversary message. Thank you guys for being here. I'll be back because we got to talk about why are these rappers being rounded up and how is that connected to Diddy? Why are these rappers being rounded up, y'all? And how is it connected to Diddy? We're going to be back to talk about that in about an hour. Okay. It's the Scorpio in you. Oh my gosh, my sister's a Scorpio. And both of y'all, y'all stingers are something serious. Maybe she said she didn't feel safe because she didn't feel her job would be secure because of Armon's personality. Okay, listen, let me tell you something. I don't know how Claudia meant it, and I'm not going to put words in Claudia's mouth. What I am saying is I could see how it could be seen as a dog whistle. I ain't putting no words in nobody's mouth. I ain't saying she did or she didn't. I'm just saying I could see it. That's all I'm going to say about that. With that being said, y'all, let me get out of here so I can be back in about an hour. Y'all know I told you I got 50,000 things to do today, but y'all going to get sick of me because I got a couple of things. It went from zero to nothing to Mims. Mims is here. Conscious, you here, boo. It went from nothing to talk about to 500 things to talk about in 24 hours. So I'll be back, y'all. I'll be back. With that being said, let me get out of here. I love y'all. Talk to y'all later. Peace.